Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad.
Yeah, the upcoming project I know you've just put in here to punish me, to tease me.
I mean, I wouldn't say punish.
Torture?
Well, let's say it's a lesson
In what?
in life.
Rumbly-8.
Rumbly-8.
I was going to say I'm not listening, but then again, that would be a total lie.
Lies! Lies! Deception! Could end up with Forrest Whitaker,
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
do love that.
I can't handle the truth.
Oof. He is lovely.
Yeah, Rumbly-8, you are a talented bastard, and I hate you for having these.
You don't even have to go to Sweden now. Somebody in the Deutschland is going to be stalking it.
What?
Fantasy Welt.
Oh, fuck, you're kidding me.
Yay! What faction are you going to do? The Ravagers? Or the
I'm
Thrashers?
not even going
You should do the Thrashers.
to make fun about this. That is my current supplier of all things Star Wars Legion.
Sweet.
Oh, Rumbly-8, I hate you even more.
Your work here is done.
Oh, God.
Hey, fuck you. Die.
So, that was interesting. I don't think Jerry got any of it.
I caught the very end of it once Twitch decided to show me whatever the fuck it was. It was like the Jaws music playing as it slowly zoomed in on Fantasy Welt.
Yeah, it's basically what I'm trying to say. I caved.
Did you?
Yeah, I
you
did.
cave? Excellent. Well done. Have you ordered it yet?
Yes, that's basically the last picture where Foamy jumps in. That's
Because somebody was telling me there was nothing in stock. Is that because you cleared out whatever limited stock they had?
no, the core set is also out of stock on what's the
Trader Galaxy.
Trader Galaxy? Yeah, so I'm guessing they're just reproducing
There's a new edition.
a new batch. Yeah, it's the what was
it's
2 Turbo edition.
Turbo edition. Yeah, that's what's
And
coming.
I'm guessing they're just awaiting stock because the regular models are in stock partially. But I
Yeah.
think when I'm going to start a new game, I might better use the starting box for reasons.
Well, you know, you can do it that way if you want.
Yeah. Also, no Dutch, not Moonstone.
Moonstone.com.
Perhaps when In the Woods is making the next Kickstarter, which name is...
Oh, that's this Friday.
I guess, yeah. And that might
Or Swordrak.
potentially tempt me. So, because we love you folks so much, we thought we will be just babbling away whilst painting miniatures. I myself have set myself up with some Wookiees who need desperate detailing. That's a pink dick.
This is my beer for tonight. This
It's
is from the Otterbank Brewing and Blending from Muff, County Donegal. Muff is a real town. It's called Gimp Mask, Whiskey and Imperial Brett Stout. And there's the beautiful label for the Gimp. Drinking some of their delightful drinks there. And it says, where are we? A rich and decadent Imperial Stout aged in Cardiantrum whiskey casks with Brettanomyces for 16 months. Expect flavors of vanilla, blah, 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 whiskey finish. Bring out the Gimp. Right at the bottom. Just bring out the Gimp.
as long as they don't bring out the Grinch.
So it's a mere 9.4 units or 12.5% alcohol. That's not bad beer.
Well, decent.
Yep.
James want to know, where do you find this stuff?
Where does I find this stuff? I go to my local off license and they forever have weird and wacky shit in. I got a few other Muff Otterbank things, but I probably won't be drinking them. So things like Mates Rates, which is a tart IPA apparently, and a creepy as fuck acid man hovering over some poor bastard in a car park.
The naming scheme is very fascinating on some of these.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's mostly what I buy them for.
So whatever makes you laugh.
It's a different base rate. Look at these creepy fuckers. That looks like Justin with his eyes blanked out to protect the innocent. Protect these other poor fuckers here who are out in the piss with them. Anyway, but not today. Not today, Badgers. I've got a fuckload of stuff to do because I'm fucking filming fucking Wild West Exodus fucking games tomorrow, for fuck's sake, you fucks. So that's, once I get into this beer, I'll be basing like a bastard. I will be basing via the medium of a fuckload of pigments. So you know.
All the pigments.
Well, 6 of the pigments.
So I need to put
3
these.
for rocks and 3 for what you call them? Dirt.
If we hear a loud noise followed by a lot of cursing on my part, I drop my tray of miniatures.
Okay, cool. Don't know why you would do that, but sure, knock yourself out.
Oh, why not?
I see Hazy Boy has. Oh, there's Hazy Boy.
Hello.
See Hazy Boy's finally deployed the beige cowboy project, which had been sitting private for a while.
How often did you torment him for this?
I think it was just last week in the thingy thing, and that was the only time I wouldn't even say torment, gentle nudge that he should really make that public and put stuff in it. I mean, he's there; he can answer for himself. At no point did I torment you, did I?
Yes, James, that's an anti-spill stand out of a massive piece of wood. Because why not? It's much easier to just drill if you've got the force in a bit and be away with it.
Wow. See, Orinoco name checked you, Hazy Boy, for the tip of brain matter beiging the shit out of your miniatures. Because he copied you for his Dungeon Saga, and he wanted to. He sent me a message to go, "Who is it who does it?" Because I want to thank them
with the
credits.
With my fist in the face.
That was good. I like him. He went through and went, "Here are all the people that I've stolen from. Here's who I stole how to do the metals off. Here's how I stole to do this off. Blah, blah, blah. Here's who I stole the beige colour off." Oh, you're a frothy boy, aren't you?
Why? Oh.
That's a frothy boy.
That looks like a milkshake or something.
Sure, it's not.
Damn, now I know what I forgot. I forgot me towel.
Yes, you need to paint things. I should mostly be painting the bases on all the fucking Wexodus.
Paint or build, or just sort your stuff out.
Double fisting taco. Did another one of those experimental things with the Sky Earth chrome. I still have to go around and do all the bronze/gold on it. But it's quite nice. I also quite like the positioning, although in hindsight, just gluing them to a flat fucking base the way it's supposed to be built would have been so much easier than having to reposition all the legs in their own unique pairing and positioning to get them scuttling across the fucking top of this decking I built for them and over these uneven rocks. For fuck's sake, McCabe. Huh?
Why make it ever easy on yourself?
You know, especially for something I'm just going to take up to the studio and Warren's going to put in his put in the back of his car and take to the shed.
In his den.
Rub himself all over.
No, I don't think he will do that.
I
hope he doesn't do that. It's not a mat.
He might do. That's still fluid, and I didn't think I used that today, but I've just put my thumb in it. Pigments. So why are you having problems with pigments then?
I can't tell you.
What's wrong with you? Huh? I've got pigment binder. I bought this when I was first getting pigments because I wasn't certain what the fuck you needed.
And
It's not bad, you know.
do you need it, or is it just a nice to have?
I've probably got it. I couldn't find anywhere where it said what it was, and then eventually I discovered it. Oh, I got it, and then poked around with it, and it's just the acrylic matte medium that you get in massive bottles, and if you happen to have it by the litre like I do, it's kind of unnecessary, but you know, it is what it is. Right, who's got rocks? You've got rocks. Spoilers, by the way, some of these things you won't see for a few weeks.
Oh, no worries. Most of people attending the show will probably have forgotten by tomorrow.
That's okay then. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee.
I'm just wondering how long it now will take Fantasy Welt to deliver my Pod Wars.
I don't know. The Germans, does that not mean they're super efficient?
Yeah, but they can't deliver what they don't get from the manufacturer, can they?
That's true. Well,
They are not wizards.
I've no idea how they run their show, because I generally use the bunker in Berlin instead. So I don't know if they list stuff they don't have in stock.
Yes,
Are
they
they
do.
the German equivalent
It's a
of Waylaid?
more or less a pre-ordering page. So they put it in. We now sell this, and you can pre-order. But the most things Legion I bought that were on pre-order arrived in a timely fashion.
But that wouldn't have been coming from Australia, from a one-man operation.
That is true.
I'd say you'd be lucky to see it for Christmas.
Well, if it's not
If you
arriving
ordered
for
it-
Christmas.
If you ordered it direct, you would have it for Christmas.
No, because he's out of stock too.
Well, in that case, then no, you won't. Because cut-off dates for postage is this Friday for international.
So people, if you want anything shipped from OTT store, buy now.
Far the fuck away. Well, not just us, anywhere. I imagine it'll be similar for countries coming back the ways. So
That's very likely. Fellows, welcome to our improv streaming today. No projects because we can't be asked.
I could be arsed, but I don't have time. So fuck yous, as they say in France. Fuck yous and the horse you rode in on. In case people are playing along at home, I'm using slate grey, light and dark, and earth green for my rocks.
Speaking of France, I grow every more of the impression that France is one of the bigger producers of miniature games next to England. Am I right, or is this just a weird impression on my part?
Don't know about miniature games, but certainly board games, they're right up there.
Yeah, Asmodee sprouted from there, so there's that.
Hello, Mac.
Good evening. We are painting. Jerry is basing stuff to be played and watched very much later somewhere else.
Fuck, not that much later. I'm not saying business daddy give us fuck all time. What I'm saying is, fuck you, business daddy. You'll never be my real dad.
I need another bottle cap.
Don't we all? Don't we all, Ducky? Don't we all?
So, no, that's Nuln oil. Do I need Nuln oil?
I wouldn't. Not if I could avoid it.
Yes, I need for the panda-looking Wookiee. Because this will be a horrible sight for sore eyes at some point.
What am I after? IPA. Despite what I said, my massive bucket of IPA is still here because fuck yous. I don't care if it's a fire hazard. It's the least of the fire hazards in this room.
Why would a bucket of IPA be a fire hazard if you don't smoke in your room?
Might smoke in my room. You're not the boss of me. Ray Darcy from Kildare.
I'm not? Shocking. I always thought so.
Hi, Dave.
Stretching 20 minutes of work. Just pretend you're on an endless call or something. Please hold the lion.
Tiger in Africa. Not that. You can be my dark wash. So what are you doing at home then? If he's doing a workie and I'm doing this, what are the rest of you bastards up to?
I'm guessing one or two maybe actually be working, I hope. Keeping the economy alive.
Seems excessive. I mean, why would you bother?
Monies. To buy more stuff. To buy all the minis.
I'm so messy with pigments. That's why I like pigments so much. So I'm just going to throw fucking pigments on everything.
Is there a non-messy way to work with pigments?
Yeah, make them into washes. Either with water or some form of thinner, like airbrush thinner or IPA or methylated spirits or something like that. And then you just apply it where you want it. And that is the non-messy way of doing it.
But where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I mean, life's too short. Waiting's for wankers.
Polyfiller in the bottom of flames, says Flames of War Tank, says Red Rose. Would be some kind of nuts and bolts be more productive?
Polyfill is good. I use plasticine. It's very cheap. It holds the shape remarkably well. It weighs much more than you think, and you can push it quite happily into places. And you don't have to be... Polyfill is a bit messy when you're cleaning up. All the American tags I did for the Flames of War Slow Grow League, where once again I think that was me complete and nobody else. Go team me.
Sounds like a reoccurring theme for some reason.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It is a pattern. Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Know what they say?
So you're saying everybody else on the team on OTT is forgetting to do stuff?
Say they're terrible slackers.
Has Ben ever been involved in any of these leagues? I guess not, is he?
No. The lucky bastard. Although he did paint a wizard warband for Frostgrave.
Frostgrave.
To help me out. God bless him. And all who sail in him.
Does Justin already have a Union army?
He does. I can't get... Oh, I was saying this to Lena earlier. Hi, Lena. I can't get around the fact that I haven't seen one Union soldier yet in Union Army colour scheme. They're all in this really fucking vivid blue. They're like Ultramarines, but on a Wild West battlefield. And I keep looking at it going, the Union have like sky blue trousers and a very fucking navy blue coat, you know. Whereas it looks like somebody's taken those two colours, mixed them together, got a striking fucking ultramarine blue and went, yep, this is our Union uniform now.
Maybe it's just uniforms being washed in a too hot.
All the blues got put in together. They've all come out one colour.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably just well I didn't do the Union. It would have killed me.
The great equalizer that is the doing the wash, doing laundry at a high temperature.
If anybody's wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting essentially my mid shade on. And then once it's on, I'll be throwing a dark slate grey wash over the top with IPA in it to wick it off quickly. But while it's still wet, I'll be chucking some of the highlighty earth green on top in spotches and spatches. It's a variation of my patented fuck them all on and chuck a wash over the top, but I don't have the time to wait for that.
You really should do a write-up on the names of your patents.
Oh yeah, could you imagine?
Oh, Dave did order dinosaurs and he's blaming you for whatever reason.
I can't see why I'd be blamed for that. Because if we think back, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't pick the raptors, assuming it's them. On the other hand, if it's the Wadroon, then I am entirely blamed for that.
Well, I'm also blaming Rumbly for bringing up to my... Bring the news to me that Fantasy World is doing bot wars. I wouldn't have noticed.
Well, to be fair, you could have just got them from Sweden. It wasn't going to cost you that much more.
Oh, it would have been 30 euros more. Because of horrendous shipping costs.
Horrendous shipping costs.
They weren't cheap. Now shipping is included.
Horrendous shipping costs, my arse.
But other than that, I bought an undead Pope.
See that?
That was a very much untypical impulsive buy on my part.
Well, you know.
I've seen that miniature and I thought to myself, oh, that looks lovely. I bet this is bloody expensive and shipping will kill me, so I can safely look at what it's costing. And it's £6 plus £2.70 shipping.
Yeah, probably fits in an envelope.
Yeah, I like the shipping rates he's applying. Under £10, it's 45% of your whatever you're buying, and then it's 25% for orders up to £50 or something. A very scalable way of calculating your actual shipping costs.
Scalable calculations are tight.
So this mini, when it arrives, is €10 in total, which is not too shabby.
No, indeed not.
In case people are wondering, I'm using Midwinter Minis mixture to thin my washes even down a bit more. For the fur on the walkies.
What's that then when it's at home? Midwinter Minis mixture.
It's basically matte medium and some
Flow improver.
yeah. It's just it's basically a homemade version of Lamia medium, a bit more, a bit thicker, a bit flows a bit better, I think.
When I was a kid, we used to call that Les Bursley's wash. Who the fuck's Midwinter Minis?
Some guy on YouTube.
Do we know him? Can he box?
I don't know. We should find out. Maybe he's up to a fight or something. Currently, he's building some kind of weird giant Games Workshop model.
Is there any other kind these days?
I couldn't tell.
Practice. Step 1, make a massive fucking model. Step 2, take the piss with the pricing. Step 3, profit.
Something along those lines. No, it's not a talking head Warhammer YouTuber's James. He actually does interesting videos and builds. Though he is focused on Games Workshop products most of the times. He uses interesting paint schemes at times. Very purpley orcs.
Very purpley orcs. That's not a euphemism.
I'll let the audience decide this.
Just checking.
Yeah, he did nuns with guns. And currently he's building a Warlord Titan Mars pattern monster of a model. Feels at times like he's doing a trading blows with what's his face, Squidmar miniatures. battling on whoever has the biggest bottle from Games Workshop. Though I think currently he has the advantage because he bought himself one of these Blood Angel full-size bottles that were used to promote the video game Splash Marine, I think. Or was it Dawn of War? Could also be Dawn of War.
Hmm. Squid's the one who had the Thunderhawk he sold for an outrageous price, isn't he?
Yeah, and now he's making a ginormous diorama with a Tau ship. What is it called? Manta? I can't remember.
Sure, the one that looks like a brick.
No, the very large flying piece of flatness.
See, they had one that looked like a brick from Forge World, which I think was the biggest and most expensive Tau one. I think. And it did just look like a fucking brick. There was no shape to it beyond brick shape.
Oh, this model actually looks a wee bit like a manta ray.
I think I know the one you're talking about. No.
Toros, that's a very harsh word to say about people that are not here to defend themselves, but I think you're quite right. Also, I'm saying that because he made himself a series of brushes, and now he somehow convinced a very famous airbrush manufacturer to make himself a limited edition airbrush. So there's a very weird Harder and Steinbeck? Was that the name of the company? Edition
it's
of
the name
Squidmore.
of that company.
I wouldn't buy it for £200 if it's a limited edition, just because there's some weird naming scheme to it.
Yeah, I think somebody was telling me about that last week, but they didn't know who was doing it. But they were saying, it may have been Soap Dodger actually, it's just a regular one of their airbrushes, but it's got a different paint color on it and a name, and they charge you 40 quid extra for it.
Yes and no, they added one or two features. If the promotional material is correct, there's some features added, but nothing you actually...
Oh, that's right. They put the air control valve on it, which is worse than having a separate one on your compressor.
And the fixture for the needle at the back somehow is different too, and it's got a weird etched painting on it. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the show. Yeah, James, he actually says it's between the Evolution and the, what's the other range model from Harder and Steinbeck?
I would have to look at it, but I think it's the Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity. It's meant to be somewhere in between, price-wise and feature-wise. So, yeah, there's that. James is thinking of getting an Evolution.
I really like my Infinity.
I couldn't help you with that decision, mate, because I still use my cheapy Chinesium one that came with a compressor. And when I say I still use that, I mean it's still sitting in the garage getting no use currently because of fucking freezing temperatures.
Who'd you call him? Andy did quite a good bit in his 15mm project for Hobart's Funnies, where he looked at 4 different airbrushes that he owns and sort of rated them, which was quite a nice breakdown from somebody who's not I'm a massive airbrushing fanatic. I can do, sign my name and write legal documents with it. here's what I think of the 4 I have. One of those was a Infinity. One was a Badger. One was a cheap Chinese knockoff. I can't remember what the other one was. It may actually have been an Evolution. But it's worth having a look for it in the project system. Because it literally goes, here's the airbrushes I own. Here's why these are good or bad. And then this is why I'm going to be using this one to do all the airbrushing on all the vehicles. So for somebody who hasn't airbrushed much, it's a good guide.
I like these kinds of comparisons because they are much closer to the actual use than some abstruse. Yeah, you can make very nice fine lines with it. Yeah, I don't care about fine lines regularly. I want to paint miniatures or use them to spray
Yeah,
blobs.
if you're not doing petrol cans on a fucking motorbike, that sort of thing, then a lot of the airbrushing stuff you see online isn't great. Well, I'm not saying it's not great. It's great, but it's not much help for us.
And
Just because you can do a flaming skull doesn't necessarily mean it's good for doing camo on a 15mm tank.
It's very much almost a thing of it's more a theoretical advantage at some points, I feel, than an actual advantage when you see people using certain kinds of airbrushes. But then again, I'm no expert on this matter, so take everything I say with a grain of salt and a large gulp of beer.
Like Gimp Mask from Muff Brewery.
For example.
Just checking.
Duck the fuck, welcome. Did someone scream outside your window?
Yep.
People have no sense of privacy these days. Screaming at other people's windows.
Actually talking to the neighbours. But they have what we call over here Belfast Fishwife, where they just shout at the top of their lungs. They don't really care who can hear them.
So they're not going to each other's fences and talk in a normal voice, but stand at their gates and just yell across the street.
Yep. Or in some cases just roll up in their car in the middle of the street. And then start bitching on.
The nerves of people. So, Jerry, do you have any plans for Christmas?
Nope.
Will you just indulge yourself in being freed of all work?
Pretty much. The family will be here on Christmas Day. Possibly. Some of them. Who knows? So I'll have to suffer them. But assuming I can get through that without killing them all. The plan is to do fuck all. Sweet fuck all squared.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. There will be travels done to a family and then back home again, and I'll be happily not doing anything apart from things I really want to do. Dave wants a jerry can on that.
What? Cooking the Christmas dinner?
I'm guessing something about things you said. How to survive Christmas in family.
Oh, it's quite simple. None of them come into the fucking kitchen while I'm cooking, or I'll tear the head off them.
That sounds like a reasonable request.
Oh, it's the best.
Do you plan anything special for Christmas? Or is it just whatever you feel?
Dinner-wise, I do a full Christmas dinner.
Yes, Demon, that's pretty much Christmas eating, drinking, and being sleepy. Maybe unwrap some Christmas gifts.
I'm very bad for that. Sometimes Christmas gifts are still lying there months after Christmas, because I just cannot be fucked.
But aren't you curious what you're getting?
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
Or are you saying you're just getting stuff you absolutely don't want, and so you don't care about unpacking?
I have no idea what I'm getting. But I just can't be arsed. My brother got me a copy of Cthulhu, 2nd edition, that replaced an old one I had lost years ago. But I didn't know about that until February when I finally opened it. I just could not give a fuck. Christmas, you say? In the words of Paul Calf, bag of shite.
No offense taken, Jim. There are enough people in the world I'd like to silently murder. At some points, I like to... some people in my life, I'd actually take aside and just tell them, the only reason you're still alive is because murder is illegal. Some people could use a good double whammy with the latest invention from Illidan. Though it's actually not his invention, he just made improvements. Put a better Jesus on his double tackle dildo knuckle duster.
Went for dual fisting. I mean, I didn't think that design could be improved until I seen the double fisted Jesus. At which point I was like, wow, well this just makes it, really. At this point, all other Jesus brass knuckle butt plug double tackle holders are just, I mean, they're secondary, really.
It's for amateurs at this point.
Yeah.
For some reason, I now crave tacos.
Don't know what that reason could be.
I can't tell you either. And the worst thing is, I don't think I would get anywhere in the city that would be considered good. I think we have 2 Mexican restaurants in this town, and one I tried once, and I'll never get back to that. Especially not after somebody told me who had picked out food from there and said, yeah, there were crawly things coming out of the kitchen and they were not employees.
Yeah, you're fine. It's just extra protein.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it.
It is. It's how I'm choosing to look at it right now. You're not the boss of me. I require some form of tufts. Tufts.
Speaking of, Tuffy and Huzza are missing in action.
I saw Tuffy was in there earlier.
Is he?
No.
Oh, see, there she is.
See?
Hello, Tuffy. Keeper of golden buttings.
Doesn't pay attention. It's his fucking stream and he doesn't pay attention.
Because
Fuck's
I'm old.
Fuck's sake. What's going on there? Let's have those.
I think I scared some people today when I mentioned that the Teams page on OTT was offline.
Right. I don't think so.
There was a bit of a ruffle in the chat, or rather on Discord.
Was there?
Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody started looking up every different page they could find. Oh, this is off. This is off. What's happening?
Oh, that was just Limburger. Because let me assure you, on our side, we went, gone, have they? Shame. Tom, can you replace them? And then Tom went, yeah, should be sorted. All right then. Because if he'd gone, no, pretty sure we would have just went, oh well. What a terrible shame. Are you sure it wasn't you, Limburger? Because I'm fairly certain it was. Let me just scroll. Scroll.
No, I don't think it
Oh
was
no,
him.
it was Jama Scott.
The worst of the cuts.
Tisk, Jam.
Guilty as charged. I sentence you hereby to paint minis.
Will that work? Let's go with that. Let's go with dry and scorched.
Triple gold buttons. Aren't you ashamed to say such things, Tufty? While other people still wait for the first.
If I have my way, I know one of them for next week anyway.
At some point in the future, I feel we need to get some golden buttons for users that have been very quietly chugging along with every project. I wish there was some kind of statistic where you could see what game gets the most gold buttons that isn't 40k. Though, to be fair, I don't think I've seen any golden button going to a 40k game, but the occasional single miniature.
Nobody can play it. That's why you've never seen one. I mean, if there was a game attached to 40k, you might have seen one, but there's not anything that could be in any way, shape, or form construed as a game. So, remember, our mission statement is to sell the best toy soldiers at the highest price possible. That's what they say.
And they're sticking to it.
Yep.
Oh, in case somebody else in chat has the Fantasy Flight /AMG bunker for Star Wars Legion, you may want to file down the bits where the door slides in. Otherwise, you'll ruin your paint job on your door when you slide it in. Ask me how I know.
How do you know? Did you do that?
Because I bloody ruined my paint job.
Did you fuck it? It's completely fucked now. Oh man, you're just the worst.
I'm a horrible person at that.
Bye, Dave.
No, it's not a 6mm bunker, Taurus, sadly.
If it had been a 6mm bunker, it would have been fine, you see.
I need to remind AMG tomorrow.
It's the fact he was using some sort of bunker in a giant scale. That's what caused him the issues. Oh my god. Come off the sheet. Thank you. Tufts. Oh, you're too big. Too buku.
That's what she said. Wow.
I'll pop you over there then. You can go on that base. Let me find a smaller one.
What is your favorite faction on Bot Wars currently, Jerry?
For story, because I haven't played it yet, I like the Thrashers / Trashers. They are the ones who are essentially berserkers. It's like dwarf troll slayers, but as giant bots. I mean, why would you not like that? Even saying it out loud is enough to give me a semi.
I'll have to give the rulebook a thorough read once it arrives and then see.
It's not the rulebook you want. Well, rulebook tells you most of the stuff story-wise is on the site. It's the cards, because the rulebook just contains rules, doesn't contain any army lists.
Okay, then I have to flick through the cards that come with it.
Well, you can download all the cards right now off the website for all the factions.
I wish I knew that before.
Right, well, you should have asked. But you kept telling us that you weren't going to do it, and then you went and did it.
Yeah. See?
So,
That's why I usually restrain myself from buying stuff, because I always get it wrong.
Who's to blame? Is it me, or is it the businessman in the suit and tie?
It's Romley 8.
Oh, that is true.
In this case, it's Romley.
It is his fault.
Aragon killed a giant spider? That wasn't in the book, was it? Demon Sub.
Like he's jumped on board the free bandwagon.
The Free League. Wow.
And getting into the Middle-earth living card game CCG thing again.
Is having a cat mandatory for that?
I don't believe so. But I've been proved wrong in the past, so, you know.
The Star Wars Living Card game is one of those games where I totally jumped in without thinking ahead 1 inch.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the base set and then added enough expansion cards to get 2 separate factions also playable. So I have 4 playable factions and I have no idea how to play that game.
Nice. Could be worse. I was a big fan of Mythos, the Call of Cthulhu game. And Mythos required you to have an investigator deck because you needed that to actually play. Essentially, it was the character you were going to be running. And I had a friend decided to jump in, and they just bought a load of booster packs and other shit. Never bought the investigator deck, so they couldn't actually play with it. But then they stopped producing it, so you could never get the booster. It's like, oh, what a terrible shame.
Oh, God.
I mean, I feel for you. I don't really.
I somehow feel like that's exactly what happened to me. I was talking with Panzer just today because he showed off his latest addition to Baron's War, drink. And there was his gold chest, and I asked him, how did you get this glorious gold so glorious? And he said, yeah, do tin underneath it. Jerry told me that.
Yep.
And
he is correct.
Why the fuck is adding a darker color as a base making the gold shine more? Can you explain that?
2 reasons. One, part of that will be down to the light reflecting off it, so it's probably not quite as shiny. I mean, can you see that?
Barely.
Okay, well, you know, good enough. Barely is good enough. We'll take barely. So I always start with that color on the bottom, whether I'm using silver or gold or bronze or brass or copper, because none of those colors cover in any way, shape, or form. So you end up, the first thing you have to do is fight multiple layers to get a good coverage of it. So it used to be called Tin Bits from Games Workshop. Army Painter's called Rough Iron. And scale color. Do I have scales?
He said he used Vallejo tin.
Yeah, it's called Tinny Tin for Vallejo.
Tinny Tin, yeah.
Tinny Tin for Vallejo, Rough Iron from Army Painter, and I don't have the scale. I thought I did, but hey ho. Anyway, but they're all the same. It's like a warm purplish brown metallic. It's really beautiful, and it makes the perfect base for gold and for silver. It covers like there's no tomorrow. So if I'm going to do gold, I'll go half and half with that. If I'm going to do silver, I go half and half with that as my base layer, and I work up from there. And it's a fucking gift, to painters. Everybody who, at any stage, who ever uses metallics should have one of those colors, either the scale, the Vallejo, or the Army Painter one, to hand, because you will use it like there's no tomorrow.
Well, I might add that then to my next order from Fantasy World. It's
I
not
would.
like there's not an ample amount of stuff on my wish list waiting to be restocked.
Are they bots?
No, there's
You sure?
some books. One is called Star something, the other thing is called Frost something.
Right.
Sadly, both currently not in stock.
Well, if you're waiting for them to get the West End Games Star Wars D6 game back in stock, you're going to be waiting a while, my friend.
No, that's not on my wish list. That's on my eBay
not?
search list.
It's a fucking classic game. Fucking amazeballs. I'm just sticking a couple of two-tone tufts down in places before I do the pigments for the sand, in case people are wondering what the fuck I'm up to.
I really wish the...
Wow, they're all attached. Let's unattach some of those tufts.
I really wish they would do a translation on Stargrave that would make it much more easy for me to pull the trigger. Because Frostgrave got a German translation.
Yeah, I imagine it probably will. But you have to remember Frostgrave's been out for 8 years.
Yeah, and it's the second edition.
Yeah. So by now they know that people are going to buy it. Translations are apparently not particularly cheap. Who would have thunk it?
It's not like that I'm going to ever play anything soon, potentially.
No, well, that's true. I mean, you need friends to play something.
Or at least people, even if they're the worst.
Oh, you're just not going to fucking stick. It's the problem with these fucking adhesive tufts. They are not actually adhesive in any way, shape, or form. The little shit bags. Hang on a second. I just thought of something.
Oh, be careful. Thinking can hurt your brain. At least that's what I'm told. That's why I try to not do that.
Oh, yeah, you should never do it. It's just the worst. Absolute fucking worst. What if I do that? And then if I do this? That's all.
A Spanish version of Rangers of Shadow Deep. Colorful art book looks amazing. Well, I'd be happy with just a translation.
Aha. Go.
But adding more work to it seems like a lot of work. Now comes the part where I'll probably be screwing up everything else, highlighting stuff. If I can get this can open.
Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah, I think I managed.
Wow.
The classic Games Workshop Citadel paint pots with a white lid.
Holy shit.
Using some original snakebite leather.
Wow.
Well, the days you could paint something or build something or clean your desk or just make sure that you stay hydrated and well fed.
Sláinte.
Oh, James Cut nearly painted one mini. That's
Unexpected.
very weird. People painting along. See, this is why I said I'm going to screw this up.
You're wise beyond your years, young Timberley.
The thing is, the bloody snakebite leather paint is way too fluid, and you can't thicken it. Let's see. Does this work? Barely. A bit better.
A bit better.
Not
Better,
bitter,
sir.
just better.
Better get a bucket. I'm gonna be sick.
A mint wafer.
A bucket for monsieur. I do really like how I've positioned that a lot. It's going to really annoy me when it gets stolen off the set and ends up in Warren's bunker.
But is he ever in the studio currently? So he needs to be there to steal something, doesn't he?
I'm sure he'll find a way. Life, finds a way.
You know what? This would have been the perfect opportunity to leave the best movie ever running in the background.
Oh my god.
We need to think of that next time.
We do it for fucking Christmas. We just have a Petey Wheatstraw fucking love-in. Petey Wheatstraw!
Painting miniatures and have a third window open where Petey Wheatstraw streamed right through into the stream. And then getting fucked by Twitch.
Don't worry. Nobody from Twitch will know it's a fucking film.
Especially not when we're talking over it in...
Not even the bots will work out Petey Wheatstraw as an actual film. An awful lot of what the fuck is this? The fuck is that?
This doesn't make sense. Can't compute. Twitch goes down.
It was at that point the singularity occurred. As Twitch's algorithm desperately tried to work out what Petey Wheatstraw was.
Twitch has a meltdown, and because it's part of the Amazon integrated systems, all of Amazon servers go down. As the AI tries to source more computing power to fathom whatever is happening. That sounds like a perfect world ending.
But can't be any worse than any of the other ideas for the end of the world.
At least that's something you could actually have a laugh at.
The rapture, you say? I see your rapture and I raise you, Petey Wheatstraw. Bringing about the singularity.
I'm still pretty much convinced at some point in the not so distant future, some school project will actually open a portal to some weird dimension and we'll all die.
I buy that. I mean, when you say it, it sounds like something that makes sense.
Where's my equivalent to brain matter beige? There it is.
I think every time you say that, you have to pay Hazy Boy a royalty. Just saying.
Yeah, but it's just my equivalent. It's not brain matter beige. It's mummy robes. This Wookiee has mummy robe issues.
That's how he gets around paying the royalty checks. Outrageous. Outrageous.
Speaking of paint pots, says the Days, I've acquired a screw that's perfect for screwing into scale 75 pots instead of cutting them. Why would you need to screw a paint pot?
Because the tops are sealed when you get them.
Oh, so you cut them open. Like,
Yeah, well, I just stick a pin in them, to be fair.
so they're a bit like caulking tubes you use for...
That type of thing. When you open it, there's the top where the paint comes out of is completely sealed. So it's like a little divot down. It's not a bulge.
Mhm.
There is a bulge to the top, but it's like a caldera for a volcano. So it goes up and then down in, and you've got that flat bit in the middle. But I just hammer it with a pin.
I'm guessing if there's actually currently anybody watching who does painting for a living is screaming at this point, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, but those people have got too much money and time in their hands, so fuck them. There, I get to stay home and paint, bastards. Or John, as we call him in the office.
And I think was it last week or the week before where he was on show and didn't say anything for the first half or something, and at that point I was, is John just there to fill up the camera? Or does he actually contribute to something at a later stage?
You know, your guess is as good as ours. We put stuff in for John. Like Ben has specifically put in World War II things and shit like that in the past. And then John just goes, nah, I hate that. It's not right. And then, oh, well, okay, great.
So
And then he'll go off on one about something that you thought he may not have any, you know, care about at all. And he'll just talk for ages about it. You just don't know. You pays your money, you take your chances with our kid, John.
I guess things could be worse. Now, am I this stupid and try to paint teeth on the Wookiees?
Yes.
Oh, that's a horrible thing to say, but I guess you're right.
I thought so.
Bring out the big guns, and by big guns I mean using a smaller brush. Why did I put the paint away? I can't tell you. This one. This one will do.
Candy.
James says we need a Christmas special with everyone. Do you mean everyone over at OTT, or do you mean everyone who's here and in chat, and we'll make a giant Zoom call chaos?
Either works, to be fair.
If I'm now sounding awfully silent, it's because I hold my breath while trying to not ruin the paint job while picking out teeth. Panzer Kaput, welcome! When did you sneak in? Or is this a case again where I just missed people coming in and being a very ungrateful host?
Been here from the start, mate. You are just the worst at this.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's not good enough. You're going to have to up your game. I'm going to go and find some other Twitch stream to hang around in and talk balls while I drink. You know, look, I don't make the rules.
You could always pester Ben while he's playing video games.
Why the fuck would I want to see a video game?
I don't know. Why would you pester him?
Oh, well, there's many reasons to pester Benjamino. I hear for Christmas, Timberly is planning on doing all this from a hot tub.
In your dreams. There's no way I would fit a hot tub in here. And if I had a hot tub in here, I'm pretty sure my daughter would occupy it.
Shocking.
Such is the life of Dad. You can't have nice things.
The beast.
Only slightly nice things your daughter or potential other child don't want.
The beasties would be great. We tried to do them the past couple of years, but they kept falling down flat in their face. Going, you know, people have to nominate things, and then there was like a team of curators to look at what was being nominated. And then at the end of it, you're going, it's been a month and only 2 fucking categories have actually got any votes in them. And this was before we were planning on passing it over to the the Great Unwashed to see if we could get anything else. And then the event happened. And that fucked everything from being indoors.
Yeah, the event. That's something I'm guessing will stick around with us for some time now.
Oh yeah, you're not getting rid of the event.
I'm almost disappointed that we don't have a decent emergency TV show running 24/7. Handing out bricks and dead people.
I think the event, or not the event, I think the Norwegians have one, but it's mostly just, showing log fires burning in real time. Norwegians know where shit's at. Gotta hand it to them.
That's almost as good as the night program going live on public channels in Germany, where you just sit in front of a train watching the train ride.
Yep, that's it. I think they call it like slow TV. The Norwegians are fucking right up there. They've got one where it's just like 20. Well, they've got at least one channel. They're 24 hours long, and it might just be a camera on the front of a ferry going back and forward around the fjords, or log fires burning. It's fucking madness.
Welcome, Martin. Yeah, but to be honest, I think there's some positive things if you do things like that. It's just you've got your fast and quick entertainment everywhere on the net if you really want it. But something relaxing, soothing is partially hard to find, hard to come by.
Just search ASMR.
Yeah, but that's just people munching at microphones.
It's not always people munching into microphones. There's some fascinating Japanese printmakers, as well as people munching into microphones. Don't you oppress me.
For some reason, I really enjoy watching people restaurate all kinds of stuff.
Oh, Baumgartner's restoration channel is particularly good for that.
Today I watched somebody restore a 300-year-old barn. Making a complete new roof with shingles and everything.
He had shingles. That could be deadly in the elderly. Oh, no.
I think you mean the Wupper Panzer kaputt. Yeah, the Wuppertal monorail hanging train is interesting.
Vorpeltinger. What?
That one too.
Tiny winged antlered fucking demon rabbits. They're bastards.
Yeah, and who thought of it? The Bavarians.
I was going to say the Germans, but I noticed that you seem to have subdivided Germany to avoid claiming the ownership on that one.
No. I didn't subdivide them. They are claiming to be a free state.
I think you'll find the Free State is the Republic of Ireland, man. That's the Free State. Ha ha! A little bit of history joke there for you.
Which I didn't get because I'm terrible at history.
Well, very few people will get it. Very few.
Oh, speaking of Ireland,
Yes.
Games Workshop does a weird thing currently. They are having a sort of lottery. So when you're buying stuff from the online store, for every £10 you get one entry into a raffle.
Yes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Excludes Ireland, the USA, and Canada.
That is because... Well, I can talk about Northern Ireland. I'm not entirely certain of the rules for the Republic, but the gambling laws are very stringent here because the DUP, who think the Earth is 6,000 years old and created by Jeebus, don't like gambling and they don't like alcohol. So you can't do raffles and lotteries and shit like that as easily here as you can in the rest of the UK.
The funny thing is, the Canadians and Americans, so the US Americans, I should rather say, can't enter by buying stuff, but they can fill out a form and get one entry for free.
Yeah. I think this might be actual English legislation, that you have to include a free entry alternative, so it can't be settled on buying in alone, which is again fucking hilarious. This started off years ago. There was no purchase necessary.
Yeah, I remember that phrase.
Yeah, so somebody was in a store, a supermarket, and Flora were doing a competition where you could send away, whenever you open a tub of margarine, it's got like a greaseproof paper
And then
under the lid. So the entry was that, and this person just kept opening tubs, taking that out, shut the tub, did that over and over until some of the supermarket employees complained. It went to court, and they got away with it because no purchase was necessary, but they hadn't set up a way you could do it without getting those little tabs from the tubs of margarine. So after that, they've made it, you can either go online or you can send a written, like an envelope or something in to get it instead. But I love that.
people are creative when it comes to getting free shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The most used phrase in commercials I still remember is when you're watching kids being sold toys, and
I thought you were going to say kids being sold.
Yeah,
Well, it's not us there.
And then somebody in a very, very fast tone goes, "Oh, everything is sold individually, no batteries attached."
Oh, radio is the best for that. Radio is fucking magical. So they've got to do that. Like on TV, it will be printed at the bottom of the screen during a car advert. Your house may be at risk if you do not keep up repayments, that sort of thing. But on the radio, because people can't see it, it has to be announced. And so you'll get an advert going, whatever, I don't know. Let's say Flora. Let's stick with margarine. Flora Olive Light. Half the fat of regular Flora can help build up your immunity as part of a regular diet. And then it'll get to the end of the advert and somebody will go, Flora can take and it's like they found the world's speed talking champion to fire out the terms and conditions and all the caveats and addendums as quickly as they can, because every second is costing them like 10 grand in advertising.
Yeah, just to make sure they're legally not viable if anybody takes the word for granted.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love radio adverts because of it. They are the best. Adhesive tufts do not stick down. And this would normally annoy me, except I'm about to throw pigment on this, along with a pigment binder, which will stick the fuckers down. Otherwise, I would be using super glue. Never use self-adhesive tufts as self-adhesive tufts.
One binder to bind them all.
Just the tip. Just the tip is fine.
That's what she said.
Everybody knows it goes no further after just the tip.
I guess at this point we have alienated everybody. Is there anything we didn't say to annoy people? Do we have something spare to blunder out?
I mean, anybody who's annoyed by us, frankly, hasn't been here before. So fuck them. Whoever the fuck these fucking blow-ins are, for fuck's sake. What a bunch of ball bags.
You're all pricks.
That's the one. If Soap Dodger was here, he could explain ball bag.
Isn't there something that needs explaining on ball bag?
Ball bag. It is ball bag, but it's spelled B-A-W. Ball. Fucking ball bags. I know I've gone out of shot, but I've got a particularly aggressive piece of static grass that's fighting me here.
Hit it with a hammer.
I'll get hit with fucking super glue in a minute if it doesn't. Right, fuck you, you little fuck.
You're getting glued down if you want or not.
Ball bag. Oh. You probably know him, Soap, because he's Scottish and you're Scottish. Cujo. So, Cujo painting, Ewan. Some prick is using one of Cujo's miniatures to advertise his bases and Blood Bowl accessories. Now, he didn't ask Ewan if he could. He just found the picture online and has photoshopped it in and removed the miniature and has used the base and then put the miniature back in and photoshopped his fucking Blood Bowl wristbands or whatever the fuck they are around it.
Not asking for permission isn't nice.
Oh, it's lit fam, as I believe the kids say.
I don't think that's something you should do. You need to ask permission.
Well, you would like to think so, wouldn't you?
Even if it's just out of courtesy, say, hey, I like that picture, can I use that for my advert?
That's the one.
It's not that hard, and you'll find most people, even in smaller businesses, are quite happy if you give them some call on that.
Yeah, if you credit them, go, yep, miniature painted by Cujo.
Miniature from, painted by.
Yeah,
you can get it here.
That type of thing. But no, they just went, you know what? I've got right-click, save as, and Photoshop, and fucking have at you. He screamed while flicking the V's to God. I imagine. I wasn't there, so I have no way to know for certain. I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense.
I mean, I don't think anybody would call them out if they made it for internal purposes, just to see how it looks, or to show.
If you don't stick it on the internet,
yeah. If you start making money off other people's work, you fucking credit them.
I went and had a look. At least it wasn't on their Kickstarter page, but at that stage, why not stick it on the Kickstarter page? You fucking stuck it everywhere else. Which leads me to believe that none of the pictures on his website are his own miniatures. I imagine he stole them all from people.
The possibility is not zero, I think.
Yeah. All I'll say is, if Ben ever goes, this would be a good Indie of the Week, I'll be going, no. And let me explain why, Ben.
But that must be on camera then for all to enjoy. You wait. You wait until Ben is starting to talk, and then you go, objection.
But Fugu's different because Fugu will. I remember Fugu actually put a picture of my stuff up once with the tag going, I have no idea who did this. If anybody knows who did this, can they tell me so I can credit them? And I went, it was me. I don't need credit, mate. You can go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Stick it up there. Sell some Fugu. But yeah.
Or just pay him in more stuff.
Yeah, Fugu's really. I mean, yeah, he's another one-man band, and he's Cornish, so got to do what a man's got to do. Speaking of which, I really want to put the. What time are we? 9:20. I really want to do the pigments on them, but I want to do the pigments all together, and I've got the cactus here. So what I'll do is I'll set all these to one side, because if I don't get around to painting them,
you'll have a problem.
They're still. I can blackline the bases after the show and still have something that I can play with.
I still have these Fugu sitting around unpainted.
Why are your Fugu unpainted?
Because I don't play any fantasy system, so there's no need.
Son of a bitch. You play fucking Star Wars. Do they look not dissimilar to somewhere that a Jedi may or may not have been in hiding? I think you'll find they do.
Have you ever seen a pig's den in Star Wars?
Probably. I've seen moisture evaporators.
Oh, that's true.
So I've no way of knowing for certain whether or not I've seen it painted down. But
Well, we've seen Gomorian guards, so that's
yeah.
pretty much the closest thing we'll get.
The enlightened will return in a moment. But first, yeah, I'm not going to name the fellow who stole the guy's stuff because fuck him, he deserves no credit at all. Prick bastard.
Necktie!
Fuck
So-
yeah!
So I see you've not stuck with them being very green.
Oh no, I mean, I looked at the very green and I thought very green's nice, but I really shouldn't do very green. I should probably, I mean, that's how very green was.
Green!
Fucking super green. So these are about to get airbrushed, which I'm sure will be fun for everybody on camera.
Can you explain to me where the joke in green is with...
Green! That one?
Yeah,
Purple?
why did they... Is it just some... Why did they choose green? Was it just a random color they chose to make the joke with, or
I've no idea.
is there
Hang on.
some deeper meaning?
Let's go back, because I think you're referencing Babylon 5, but you might not be.
No, I'm referencing
referencing
the
Black
Fifth
Adder?
Element.
Oh, the Fifth Element? Oh, fucking no idea. No idea.
The weird radio jockey is always going, green, super green!
Who knows? Who knows why he was doing it? Maybe he's a big fan of Blackadder. And Percy. Edmund, I've discovered how to make gold.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
see,
that
the
one I
thing about
remember.
gold is, it's
Green.
generally gold in colour. What you have made, if it has a name, is green. Oh, can it be? I hold in my hands a nugget of purest green. Not so much a nugget, Percy, more a splat.
I need to rewatch that.
Oh, you should always watch them. Oh, I'm going to be using some of my Mega Painted.
Oh, nice.
Use purple.com. And they're the people who sell houses.
Purple.com. What the hell is purple.com?
Is it like funkypigeon.com? Funkypigeon.com.
Alchemy for beginners. How not to make gold. This is what we tried and failed.
Bye, demon. Love you.
Have fun getting up after all this mess we made.
Yeah, he says mess. I don't believe him. I don't see the mess. Ships, I see no ships. Now, Army Painters, warpaints.com, the color triads say you don't need to thin them.
But you thin them nonetheless.
I thin them regardless.
Well, it can't hurt, can it?
No. One thing I learned from the delightful Jay and Dan is if you think it's thinned enough to airbrush with,
Thin it even more?
Yeah. Best fucking advice given by anybody ever.
Well, and if you just stop and think about it for a second, it's... If you thin it too much, quote unquote, you just need to apply a second coat, which is not that hard with an airbrush. But if it's too thick, it may not come out, it may sputter, or it even may block your nozzle. So,
Now, he also followed that up with he doesn't use any flow improvers or anything else. And I've discovered that I can't airbrush like he airbrushes without using all those things. Because it fucking killed my airbrush. That is a god. Doesn't need to be Winsor Newton, just needs to be flow improver. If you're airbrushing, it's a fucking lifesaver.
it makes cleaning easier too.
Well, yeah, that too. I've been airbrushing all afternoon, which is why I've got a very chromy spider.
Just add that to the terrain. I'm sure Justin will not mind.
You know, will Justin know/care?
Well, I guess he would care if there's a silver spider on the table when you're doing your Let's Play.
To be fair, he's got 2 to deal with, so. Ooh, that looked like too much thinner. That was too much thinner.
Bye, Pete. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Oh, speaking of tomorrow, I think...
It's only a day away, like Annie Hall.
Yes, and it's December the 1st. I get to open my first door on my advent calendar.
A pinch and a punch for the 1st of the month. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm going to say yes.
Have I told them? No, not yet. To be fair, I have to tell the people at War Cradle that they've got the fucking colour for the Union wrong. It could be worse. It could be the Napoleonic Russians who are carrying the wrong cross.
Why are they carrying the wrong cross, or what is the meaning behind this, is should I rather ask.
Russian Orthodox crosses have a second crossbar.
Yeah.
So they have one cross piece and then they have a smaller cross piece up the top.
Which is angled a bit, if I recall correctly.
Correctamundo. So the Russians for Silver Bayonet, out of 4 crosses, one of them has got the cross piece. The rest of them are just standard crucifix, including the massive gold one being carried by a Russian Orthodox priest.
Oops.
You know, I imagine they don't give a shit. That would be my guess right off the bat.
Maybe someone didn't completely do their research.
Well, as Joe McCullough said, blah, 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 fantasy game, blah, 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 don't worry about uniforms and stuff. So maybe they didn't worry about, you know, Christ and crosses and that sort of thing as well. I quite like that colour. What colour is that? Unforgiven green. Great film as well. How very Western of it.
Unforgiving green.
Well, obviously it was just called Unforgiven. Didn't have green in the title, but it's a really nice... I don't even know what way to describe that. Black, grey, green.
It looks very cacti.
I think so. Oh shit! I just dropped on the floor.
Oh, Soylent Green would be a great name for a paint, James.
Soylent Green would be a fucking magical name.
And then it needed to be a flesh tone.
Yes. Oh yes.
A flesh tone called Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. And not tell anybody. Oh Jesus. Somebody get Bo on the phone. What the fuck have I ran over? It's clearly a wire. Is it a wire for anything electrical or important? Well, time will tell, I suppose. Time will tell.
Soylent Green is human flesh. No, it's a paint, you fuckwit.
Soylent Green is people. Obviously, I'm more muffled now because I'm wearing a mask while I spray.
If you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have noticed. Seriously. Your mic is very high-pitched. Has a lot of highs and is filtering a lot of the deeper parts of your voice.
At least I'm not trying to use NVIDIA voice suppression anymore. It went fucking buck nuts. NVIDIA and Skype clearly have had some sort of massive argument.
You accidentally summoned some demons from hell with that.
Ooh, funkypigeon.com.
The hell, I need to refill back.
Yeah, Corvus Belli's. Well, some religious iconography for Corvus Belli is spot on. mostly around the Catholic orders that were founded in and around Spain and its outlying regions. So, I mean, they're grand.
Did the church ever complain about being used in wargaming?
No, don't think they know exist or care.
Maybe we should do a game that's solely based on religion.
I had one at one stage, came free with a magazine. It was like diplomacy, but it was all based around the various factions in heaven.
In heaven.
Yeah. Well, you've got different choirs of angels. So cherubim, seraphim, seats, powers, principalities. There's like 9 different levels of thing. And the whole idea was, you know, they'd all gone fuck nuts and there was a war in heaven. So it was diplomacy, but with angels. It was a peculiar game.
I was thinking more like in Civilization when you send out your ambassador and goes Wolo, and everybody suddenly turns to your side.
It works in what you call it, Total War as well.
Does it?
Oh yeah, you're either sending out a bishop to pull people on side, or you're being excommunicated. At which point everybody goes fucking mental about your empire. It's like the Pope has excommunicated you, and it's like, balls. And you just look at your lands, and all of a sudden, everywhere you look, they're just rebels rising up and fucking you over. Going, fuck you, Pope.
You can't be our leader if you don't believe in our God. Help, help, I'm being repressed.
Moisten bits. Lobbing scimitars around.
So many good movies, so little time.
Well, obviously, we all know Petey Wheatstraw is going to be high up the list.
Indeed.
What's the closest we come to Christmas for this? Top Trumps God Edition. Oh dear. Our survey says today's
28th or 21st?
Oh, well, it would have to be 21st. Well, actually, no, because if we did it 20th, more likely to have people off.
Very highly likely.
The week between Christmas and
New Year. People could also be highly intoxicated, which adds to the fun.
Well, I always am, so why shouldn't other people be? That's the reason.
I fail to find a reason why not.
Well, there is no reason. Get your gimp mask on and go for it.
Simon Marvel Minis, he says. He asked, what do you think of it? I have no opinion on this matter. Sorry to say.
I mean, I've got a big, massive fuck-off calendar in the way of the chat. I don't know if they've shown a picture with a scale beside it. They look nice, but I know they could also be fairly expensive. But it's got to the point where people are going to be buying that game just for the miniatures. It's very much the monopoly of our fucking industry. How many times will they reskin Zombicide before people just go, you know what, I don't care anymore? Or you've got the Zombicide collectors going, well, I don't care about comic books, but it's another Zombicide, so I've got to have it. In the same way you've got Monopoly fans going, I don't actually care about Star Wars, but it's a monopoly of Star Wars. And even though it's exactly the same game that I've got 500 copies of.
Yeah, or the other way around, where Star Wars fans say it's a game with tiny miniatures in it that look nice. I want that. I don't care. It's Monopoly.
So, if the miniatures scale well with some of the other games that are out there, because you can play against Captain America, could play against Captain America in Marvel Crisis Protocol. If the miniatures are the same scale, it would be fun to have alternate universe zombie Captain America fighting against regular Captain America. I don't have a problem with it. Beyond the fact I have a problem with cool mini or not reskinning Zombicide every 20 minutes. I mean,
And getting away with it.
the fact it's Marvel is neither here nor there. It's just another in the laundry list of fucking Zombicide reskins. So I don't expect anything from it. The miniatures renders look quite nice, and from what I've seen in the past, they'll probably be a decent quality. But I'm not looking at it going, I need to own this. Yeah, it makes money. I mean, I've read the Marvel Zombie comic, which is obviously great when Zombie Hulk eats the Silver Surfer. It's worth it for that by itself. But I just look at it and I'm going, what's it really adding? You know,
Makes me wonder. Wouldn't be old zombies be after Professor X because he has the tastiest brain?
I mean, you know, it's possible.
Brains.
Spicy brains. I can smell your spicy brains, as that cat once said. Mittens and Snowdrop from the start of the internet, kids.
God, don't remind me.
Did you just sniff my brains? Oh, I'm a cat. Cats sniff things. So I sniff things because I'm a cat. Catty cat cat.
Next thing we need people to remind of is Strong Bad.
Oh, Strong Bad's never gone away. The thing that really annoys me, there was a show called the Rhino and Nutmeg Show. It was one of several flash animation things done by this company before they became sort of big off the back of it. So I think after that they got hired by real companies and they took their website down so nobody could see the shit they were up to before they became big. And Rhino and Nutmeg were fucking amazing. Miss Muffy and the Muff Mob, I could live without. Rat Chicken was good. Who else was there? Space Dog, fighting crime in outer space. Space Dog, but there's no crime in outer space.
Sometimes
Space
I feel the creatives of the early internet days had a bit more wackiness to them.
Yep. I mean, I've looked for Rhino and Nutmeg online and nobody has got it. It's one of those things that I seen it at the time, loved it to bits, and there's no record of it really existing except my memories. And that's depressing.
Or maybe some mention in some Usenet article deep down in some archives.
I mean, you can go to the Wayback Machine. It goes, the website was there. You know, trying to explain about these two dogs finding a mammoth in the back garden. What the hell is that? It's a fucking woolly mammoth. Oh, a woolly mammoth. You know, they were fucking amazing. How much for that there woolly mammoth? $5, I gotta sniff your ass. Shut the hell up, you idiot. That'll be $10. $10? What the hell do you think I am? Some kind of millionaire woolly mammoth collector?
I don't know what scares me most, that you still recall all the lines or that nobody else has heard of that.
Well, one of the lines from, I think, episode 4 was Nutmeg wearing a gimp mask and holding a whip that they found in the luggage of somebody on board a flight, going, "Look at me, I'm a fucking ninja." And that's where I've got the phrase "I'm a fucking ninja" from, which I say quite often.
Some things tend to engrave themselves into our
Yeah.
brain.
Well, that is true. I mean, Galactus, somebody was saying it looks like it's going to be on par with Cthulhu that they did, and Cthulhu was like $200 by himself. So I don't know if that is going to be the case, but holy shitballs. And they're going, oh, but you can make Galactus as regular Galactus or zombie for $200. I'd like one of each, please.
At least.
Fuck my hat and sack my cook.
Well, with $200 for one figure, I feel paying €90 for a box of Bot Wars is a pretty steal.
Very, very fucking reasonable at that point.
Oh, woolly mammoth.
The only complaint I really have about Bot Wars is that no matter where you look, the pages of the products are partially very poor, because you've got the glorious looking painted ones, and then you've got these weird 3D renders which actually don't like design wise. They look boring.
You're very past remarkable. You're like Lloyd and his hatred of old web pages. You know, just because the web page looks
don't
old and
hate
shitty
old web pages
doesn't mean that the stuff isn't good.
But if you're selling me a miniature and the first image that's on the article that has to be sold isn't the miniature itself, then you're not really grabbing my attention, are you?
See,
That's what
you're a child. That's why.
I
Child.
I have the attention span of one. Yes, I do.
When I was a kid, if I wanted to go and buy some miniatures, it would say Wood Elf with bow ×4, $2.99, and that would be it. It would be a bit of text, and if I wanted to find out what those fuckers look like, I would have to buy them. The internet has spoiled you cats.
It has, and I'm not giving it back. I think I'm done for today.
Right, you lucky bastard.
Well, to be fair, I had a head start. Also, I don't need to make a battle report tomorrow. Or let's play.
And 2 of them, for fuck's sake.
Well, it needs to... you need a good reason to go to the studio, so they might also
That's true.
They need to make it worth your while.
I got Tom to send Vespa to the studio, so I was having to go up there to collect her anyway for Moonstone.
Princess Vespa and Barf.
Yep. Got a message from him going, "Want to send you Vespa?" It's like, okay, go ahead. What do you want to send? Send it to the studio, because I've got to go up there, and if I don't have a reason to go up to pick something up, I just won't go, because they're all cats. Terrible cats. And then I had to go to my basket that I'd already put everything in waiting for payday and take Vespa out again. It was terrible.
They made you save money. Horrible people.
Yep. See, you say that, James, but the other alternative is they've been supplying miniatures for 40 odd years or 50 odd years, and they're not au fait with technology. So there's 2 ways. It's either badly supported because it's not worth your while, or it's badly supported because it's not a technology they're used to. And somebody is going to go just hire somebody. Well, you know, why would they? The stuff is sold for years without having to hire somebody, and if your margins are that fine that it's you're doing the casting and your wife is packing the stuff and shipping it out. There's not really the margins there to hire some spotty little fuck to build a website for you.
And you don't want your nephew's neighbor to do that, because that usually ends up in horrible things.
Well, they wouldn't even know that. I mean, look, Front Rank. There's a prime example. People who've just retired, their website was better than most, and they're still of a good age. Could it have been better? Yeah. Was it ever going to be better? No, it wasn't. But it's one of those things. The older ones will be replaced by people doing 3D printing STDs, and the world will be a worse place for us. Thankfully, I won't be alive to see it.
I don't think they're actually called STDs, but...
I'm pretty sure they are. What do you think they're called?
Thingamajigs?
STDs, can you? You know what's not, though? It's not the greatest movie ever made. I am just going to continue doing this because I have no choice. Just saying. You should all fuck off now.
Yeah, I just took my final pictures of my almost finished Wookiees. I'm thanking everybody in chat that had the endurance to stay up this long with our nonsense rambling. I wish Jerry a very much progressive. No, what is it?
I've got 2 hours
Productive,
before
that's-
midnight. I have to be up at 6 to get the train to go to the studio. So I'd very much like to be in bed for midnight. So that's my goal here.
Well, then we wish you the very best of luck on hitting that goal, Jerry.
Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, God. It's time for me to go. Have a good one. Bye!